Today I've got to catch up with one of my patients, former Olympian and now business maestro, Sonny Webster, about his hair loss journey and how we were able to supercharge his hair restoration over a 2-month period with the hair restoration protocol. Give us a little bit of insight into your hair loss journey. What age were you? What happened? What were you seeing?
I'm 30 years old now, and I think hair loss for me started at around 25, maybe even a little bit earlier, I'd say 24. I was the person that would always wear a hat whenever I was out in public, when I'm training, and I think a little bit of that for me was insecurities around how thin my hair was getting, especially when I was training and sweating a lot. I noticed to start to see thin hair, so I always used to wear a hat from a young age, at 24, 25, and that was like my safety mechanism all the time when I was training. And it was up until about 27, 28, when we're kind of going into COVID, that like everyone, I thought, right, if there's any time I'm going to be able to see whether I have a good bald head, it's now. So I shaved my head because my hair was thinning and I wasn't happy about it. And it was then really that I started to look into potential treatments or potential hair transplant to kind of solve the problem.
How did your head go when you shaved it? Did you look like Jason Statham or?
The head shaving,
You got the accent.
the head shaving wasn't too bad. And I rocked it for a little bit, but I was by no means as confident as I was with hair once I shaved it. And I noticed from that moment that it just wasn't growing back as quickly as I thought it would be, even after I shaved it. And even just as James was saying then, even when I had it shaved, you could see where my hair was thicker and not so thick on my scalp. So probably that was the lowest point of my hair loss journey, was just after that.
From an emotional perspective, what did it do to your confidence, like your self-esteem during these times?
Yeah, I think as a man, hair gives you a hell of a lot of confidence, to the point for me where I used to go to the barbers 2-3 times a month, would always have my hair done. And then when it started to drop out, or it was flaking, and coming out in my hands almost, I didn't feel confident even to go and get my hair cut as much. So I was like, I'm just going to let it grow, keep it as long as possible, to try and have a bit more coverage. And yeah, it was not good at all.
Can you remember what the defining moment was that spurred you into action, to doing something about it?
Yeah, I think the thing that was hardest for me, and the thing that caused me to want to make a change more than anything, was just when I was waking up in the mornings and running my hands through my hair, or like after a shower, washing my hair, seeing how much hair was coming out in my hands. And it was that happening on a daily basis that was getting me down over time. And I was like, you know what, I want to go and do something about this. So I think it was that build up. And I remember complaining to my friends, my partner at the time, about it and how it was getting me down, because I was really struggling with my confidence, especially when you'd want to go out and style your hair. I would stop putting product in my hair, because even if I put like wax in my hands and I'd run it through my hair, it'd all come out. So that was kind of, it was 28, 29 that I start actually then looking at what are my options.
What did you then start doing from a treatment option perspective?
So I think like everyone else, the first thing I did was to go and spend a load of money on hair loss shampoos and various different topical off-the-shelf treatments. I thought this is going to help solve the problem. I had a really sensitive scalp as well, so I struggled with dandruff a lot. So I was trying various different medications and treatments for that, just off-the-shelf stuff from supermarket. Didn't work. Probably spent $500 before and tried all the shampoos, as most people do. Saw no results at all from the shampoos. And it was at that point then when I was like, right, I'm going to go for a consultation to have something done about my hair. I'd seen someone else that had a hair transplant that looked really good, had a great result, reached out to them and put myself in. This was an Australian-based company that I went to have the consultation with. And I felt that going for the hair consultation, I was going to come out of there with like my problem solved. And I went in there, and after having my consultation with the lady, she was like, I don't think you've got enough like good or enough hair to get like the type of coverage that you want. And at that point then I was like completely deflated, because I was like, okay, well now I can't even get a hair transplant. And I don't know if it was that I had a bad consultation, which probably would have played a part in it, but I can imagine for someone else that probably wouldn't have been as determined as me to try and get a result, that would have been like extremely damaging, because it would have been like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get the kind of look that I want for my hair. Regardless, they sent me away with some more hair loss shampoos. and they suggested that I started Finasteride and Minoxidil, because they said regardless if we were going to do a transplant to the amount that you'd want it, you'd have to try and grow your hair as much as possible before we did that, so you had as much hair. And again, for me, extremely uneducated, just did what I was told. So off I went and started with Finasteride and Minoxidil. And that was the, I guess, big turning point for me, I guess, in terms of being able to actually start to see some kinds of results, but with other side effects too.
So beautiful segue. What then did you experience? So there's obviously the upsides and that your hair was growing, but what were the downsides?
Yeah, so I'd say the first couple of months of taking the Finasteride and Minoxidil, straight away I noticed my hair come back. It got thick again. The coverage was there, and I was like, this is a miracle. I was struggling while I was having those tablets with really dry scalp. Dandruff was worse than ever while I was having them. There was like a period of shedding where my hair was coming out, or what kind of got worse before it got better in the initial onset. And then it got to a place where I was really happy with my hair, and I was like, this is brilliant. But more than anything, I knew that there was side effects for Finasteride, and I didn't want to keep having to have medication every single day. But I think now on reflection, and I probably wasn't true with myself at the time, I think the Finasteride was potentially causing some element of depression or mixtures with my emotions, hormones, while I was having that. Because I'd had a similar experience with another drug that potentially has side effects for depression as well. And I felt similarities in that when I was having it. And I think more than anything, as most people then do, to try and stop the Finasteride and Minoxidil and hope the hair stays, and it didn't. Hair started dropping out again, and I was back to square one. And that just became a vicious cycle of me, like when I had like a stockpile amount of Finasteride in between my prescriptions, I'd hammer it, I'd be really happy with my hair, and then I'd stop, and then I'd go back down the same cycle again. So I was doing that repeatedly.
So then you got referred to me by a mutual friend. So you're now about 4 months into the hair restoration protocol. Can you tell us about how the journey has been so far?
Yeah, I think the journey with the hair restoration protocol was like, it was something that I was super excited to try. Like I said, I'd been through trauma with my hair up and down through this point before I came to see you. So I was super excited to see what my options were, especially you remember like our first conversation, I was like adamant, no, I'm staying on the Finasteride and Minoxidil because I didn't want to go backwards. And you were like, fine, see how you go. And then I stopped it shortly after we started the treatment, and I was just blown away with how much exponentially my hair increased growing whilst I come back off the medication that I was having as well. The results were way quicker than I anticipated, like from week 1 to 2, 2 to 3. It got, my hair was thicker and darker than it's ever been. Not only that, I think like the health of my hair was better. I started to take more care over it with the shampoo that I got from you as well, which was really, really good. And I finally felt confident enough to then start like styling my hair again. It was thick, it was full, I was training without a hat on. So yeah, from those early stages of the treatment, it's incredible.
And then you're now in the second phase of the hair restoration protocol. How has the home maintenance side of things been in terms of how easy it is to maintain and keep up with it?
The home maintenance side of the process is super important, and it's something that I was super religious with in the first few stages, and I definitely think that helped speed up the results. It's something that's so easy to do because you just sit it by the sofa, and when I was watching my TV, I'd do my drops and quick roll over, great, hour before bed, fine. So building it into my home routine was super easy. And like I said, I do think that really excelled the results.
And some of the skeptics would say, oh, well, you're on finasteride for a period, so the half-life of finasteride is it can remain in the tissue in the skin for a month to sometimes even 3 months after in terms of results. But now you're pretty much 3 or 4 months off having had finasteride, and you haven't seen decline. You've only seen
no decline after 3 months of not having finasteride. Not only that as well, it's nice not having to have that drug on a daily basis. Like I said, I do feel that on reflection, the side effects, it was affecting me, and I was probably naive to think it wasn't. So yeah, I feel so much better for not having that now as well.
The health of your scalp is a really important one as well. And you'd said that you'd had dandruff previously. One of the benefits of the hair restoration protocol is it does reduce inflammatory markers. Have you found that's been an ongoing benefit for the health of your scalp?
100%. I think for me, like I said, normally it would be super bad dandruff every single day. Now I don't need to wash my hair as often as I was washing it before. I'm not feeling like I've got an itchy scalp as much. And overall, I'd say it's in a much better place than it was. So much so that I actually went to see a doctor to get drops for my scalp because I had like an issue with inflamed scalp that was quite bad, enough for me to need the drops.
Last question. Overall, from an emotional level, how has regaining your hair impacted you from a psychological standpoint?
I think the biggest impact from a psychological standpoint with the hair regrowth is, again, for me, more than anything, it was a daily worry, waking up and washing my hair and it falling out. That like compounds over time to get you down and reduce your confidence. And now I wake up and it's not even something that comes into my consideration. I look in the mirror and I'm not looking at my hair going, I hate my hair. I'm looking at my hair and going, cool, I'm confident in who I'm seeing and what I'm seeing in the mirror, which is a super nice feeling. To not have that worry on a day-to-day basis when you live a very busy lifestyle like me is also really nice too.
And when you come out of the water, do you have to worry about it being clumped together, or is it all good now?
It's all good now, yeah. I'm really pleased with it. When I'm showering, swimming, no problem at all. And I don't wear a hat half as much as I used to, which is nice too. For anyone that would be considering having the hair restoration protocol, I would 100% say yes, do it. It is the fastest results that I've ever seen in my hair growth journey. And not only that, off the back of it, how I feel now in my confidence and my ability to get on with my life with a full head of hair is absolutely incredible. So do it.